So hello friends, today in this lesson we'll be learning about lists. So what are lists? So lists are the data types in which we can store different types of elements. They can be of different data types altogether. Like in example 1 you can see there are various types of elements. Like we have the egg, 1, spam and 7.96. So we have a string, we have two strings, one integer and float type. We can also, as you can see in example 3, we can also create an empty list by using square brackets. So this is how a list is declared. Now you must be thinking how to access the index of a list. Now by index you can also access it. Like over here we have the list named as green, egg, hand and ham. So by list, if you want to access the third element, like similarly as we have seen earlier in the index, the first element is the 0, the second is the first. So green would be the 0th, the egg would be the first one, and would be the second, and ham would be the third. So when we access them by index being the name of the list, and we use 3. So over here 3 would give us the answer ham. So ham would be the answer. Like you can see ham, the third element, and that is stored in the variable ham. Now green eggs, if you see green eggs is equal to green eggs. So how do we get green eggs? Now you can also concatenate two elements of a string by using the indexes. Like over here green eggs, we put green egg 0, the 0th element, then we use a space, and then we add a plus and the remaining part. Now index reassignment. So reassign is the variable which has a list. So list is 1 1 3 8. Now we can reassign it. Now when we reassign it, like 1, the elements are 1 1 3 8, and we reassign the second index of the list equal to 5. So we are saying that the index at the second position, it would be having the value 5. So now you can see when we print this, we get the reassigned value as 1153 earlier, which was 1138. Now using the append method. Now append method is used to add an element to the list. Now this would add only one element to the list. Like adder, you have a list name adder 1 2 3 4. Now if you wish to add name of the, so how do we, like we want to append 5, so what we will do, we'll first add the name of the list, then append, and in the parentheses we would have the element that we want to add in the list. Like if this is a number, so we are using 5, but if we want to add a string, then we will be using strings, and those would be in double inverted commas, as mentioned that strings are using double inverted commas. So now the new list would be 1 2 3 4 5. And coming to list slicing. So what happens is in list slicing is similar to how we did it in the slicing of strings. We have it over here, like slice example. Over here we have 9 0 2 1 0. Now over here, as you can see, if you want to slice in the example of slice 1, that slice, first we use the name of the list and then the number of elements. So these are similar to strings. Like in strings, if you want to print the last from the beginning point to the some point, we use the colons and the point to which we want to print it. Then in slice 2 you have an example, so where we want to print only few elements in the between of the list, and in the third slice 3 we have all the elements from a point to further till the end of the list. Now as you can see over here, we have list slice 1. Slice 1 example gives us in square brackets we are mentioning from the starting to point 2. So from the starting will be 9 and 0. So that would be 1, and 0th element and the first element, as we have seen earlier. Also the second element, that is 2, which is mentioned over here, would not be included. Now coming to example number slice 2, example 2, here we can see that slice ex is being used. Slice example, the above variable is being used, from which we are taking from the second element till the fourth element. So fourth element would not be included, and so it would give us the second element, the 2 element, the number 2 and number 3. So that would be 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 would be printed. Now coming to slice 3, in the above example as slice ex, if we mention 1 till point, that would give us till point 1 till and colon, then it will give us the following things. Now from starting from 1, it would exclude 9 because 9 is 0. 9 is the 0th element, if I would rather rephrase it, and so 0, 2, 1 and 0 would now be printed, as you can see over here. So slicing is very important and it may be useful. As you can see, it is used with strings as well as in lists. So this is how slicing is done. Now you might be thinking how to get an index. So we have a method called as the .index. .index, what it does is index, like we have a list 0 1 0 1 1. Now first 0 is equal to, now if we want to print the first 0, so what index does, it prints the value of the occurrence of the element that is mentioned over here. Like index is the name of the list, .index would give us the first 0. You can see there are 2 0 first at the 0th position and then at the second position, but it would return us the value of the first one, so 0 would be returned. Now coming to insert, like inserted, we have a list called inserted, which is equal to through looking glass, and inserted.insert would give us now if we want to insert a value at the first position, so what will it do? It would insert the value at that position and the remaining values will be shifted one position further. So here, as you can see, we request it to insert it at the first position, the element at the first position. So what this will do, it would give us the answer through the looking glass. The output would be this, and inserted. So we are saying at inserted at the first position. So over here, through would remain at the 0 position. The first position would be changed and would be replaced by the looking glass would be then shifted to further ahead, and looking and glass would now become the third and the fourth one. So nerds, like here we have four elements over here in the removed one. What if we want to remove a particular element, like we inserted over there in the previous slide, but here what we have is we don't have to mention the index, but we have to mention the name of the element that we need to remove. So here, if we want to remove Sony stack, so this is how we remove it. So removed.remove Tony stack we have done, and now the remove value. So what this will do, this would be the opposite of what insert does. The Tony stack would be, the elements before Tony stack will remain as it is, and the element above ahead of it will come to a -1 position. In .pop function, what .pop does is, the pop function removes the element which is at the end of the one. Like over here you can see, if popped, which is the list name of the list over here, .pop is used. So what it does is it removes the position at a particular position, similarly to remove, but what the default one, if we don't give a value, does it removes the one at the last position. So you might be thinking what it would be the last position over here. So as in the first step, Foo Fighters, Nirvana, Green Day and the White Stripes are used. Now when we remove the two, we only have with 3 elements left, Foo Fighters, Nirvana and the White Stripes. Now we want to pop it again. Now when we pop it again, the element in the last, that is the white spaces, also gets removed, and we are only left with 2 elements. So this is how the pop works. Now when you might be thinking that and one thing that needs to remember in the pop is, it is last in first out situation. LIFO, what we stay in data structures. So LIFO is followed in the pop. Now let's recap what we have learned till now. So we have learned list data types, how to access them, how to reassign them in a particular element in the list, append, slice, how to append it, how to slice it, index, insert, remove, and pop. These are all the important things that are associated with list, and this is how list function works. I hope you got a better understanding of the list. Thank you for watching Python tutorials, and I hope to see you in the coming up videos, which will be related to another topic, interesting topic of list. Thank you.